Coming up on the Sports Desk, the Cardiac Kids were honored at City Hall. Plenty of athletes were honored at El Camino College. And let's face it, there's Jiu-Jitsu and then there's GRACIE Jiu-Jitsu. You're about to see the difference. And we're going to teach you the right way to play table tennis, aka ping pong. All this and so much more. Get ready, Torrance. The Sports Desk begins right now. Welcome everyone to the only show designed with the Torrance sports fan in mind. Your dreams are filled. You're rocking with the desk. The celebration continues for West High. We'll take you to City Hall in just a bit, but first, don't forget to show us some love on social media. Keep us in the loop on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share your videos and photos, and don't forget to give us some ideas for future stories. Remember to tag us when posting, and we'll tag you. Tag, you're it. Where do you go when you win a CIF Southern Section Championship? You guessed it, Torrance City Hall. It's no Disneyland, of course, but it's still pretty cool. After winning the CIF Division III title recently, members of the West High School softball team were invited to City Hall. That's where they were honored by City Council members and Mayor Patrick Bury. The City of Torrance recognized the team's championship victory and their historic season, which featured 30 wins and only 3 losses. The champs posed for some photos with the mayor and met with City Council members. Not a bad way to cap off what was an unforgettable season at West High School.
It's something to say to win 30 games, but it's also something to say to deal with the adversities that we've had to deal with this year, and in this historic season. It's something that I will never ever forget. Ladies, thank you very much for allowing me to coach you guys this season.
Good stuff. It was certainly fun to watch this season, that is for sure. Well deserved, ladies. All right, while we're on the topic of softball championships, we want to congratulate these young ladies right here. This is the North Torrance Girls Softball League 12U team. Check them out. They brought home the championship after going undefeated at the Pico tournament. Way to go, girls. That is awesome. And speaking of the North Torrance Girls Softball League, remember Julietta Roa? She's the one heading to the Sooner State to play for the USA Softball 12U All-Star team. Recently, our very own Danny Miskell sat down and chatted with Julietta, and something tells me they had plenty to talk about.
Hey AJ, I am here with the North Torrance Softball League, and I'm also here with the very special Julietta Roa, who has been drafted to the USA All-American Softball team. Wave hi, girls. Hi. Hey. All right, so Julietta, can you tell me how you feel about leaving for Oklahoma in 3 weeks?
It's amazing, like nothing I felt before about softball. It's just amazing.
It's quite an honor, too, because the selection process, you were telling me, I mean, there was 300 girls who went and tried out. She went to Anaheim, and there was this big tryout. So can you go ahead and quickly tell us about that selection process?
Yeah, so there's 300 girls, and the first weekend they cut, and some of them made the second cut with me. But, like, I had to go the second weekend just to make sure I could get in. And then we played a tryout. At the second tryout, we did a little scrimmage where we played against each other with other girls so they can see how we connected with each other. And then the next Friday, we found out that if we made it or not, and I made it.
And you made it. Can you just tell us what was your first reaction when you found out that you made the team?
I thought my mom was playing with me, and then I was like super excited after because I read the email.
That's so great. Congratulations. And honestly, nothing but good things from all of her teammates. They have nothing but good things to say about Julietta. She even goes and grabs water for these girls when they're thirsty on the field. She is a team player and a true gem. We're so excited for you. We're going to have more on this story about Julietta heading to Oklahoma to represent Torrance and South Bay, and of course her teammates here on the North Torrance Softball League. But before I send it back to you, AJ, these girls have the most charming chant that they have to share with you. You can't miss out on this. All right, girls, are you ready? Let's show them what you got. Here you go.
2, 3. Speedy, Speedy Row
Amazing. All right, thank you. Back to you, AJ.
Good stuff. Just so you know, Danny will have a full report on Julietta Roa and her upcoming trip to Oklahoma on our next episode. So be sure to tune in for that. You won't want to miss it. Trust me. All right, if you like awards ceremonies, then you're going to like this next story. El Camino College held its annual Athletics Award banquet recently. There was no red carpet, and the attire was casual, but tons of awards were handed out in a whole bunch of categories. The athletes were gathered inside East Dining Hall on campus. They grabbed some grub and shared some fun stories. And then, of course, picked up some hardware. For example, the Female Athlete of the Year was won by basketball standout Kayla Bibb, who was a first-team All-State selection and South Coast Conference Player of the Year.
I was not expecting this, but thank you. Thank you to my family, thank you to my friends, thank you to my wonderful team back there, and my coach, and thank you, El Camino.
And the Male Athlete of the Year was Carson. The West High School graduate competes on the track and field and cross-country teams. Bix won the state championship in the 1,500-meter run and led the Warriors to a 7th-place finish at the state cross-country championship.
I was actually pretty excited. I didn't expect to win it. I said earlier that I thought a sophomore would get it. One of my teammates, Joshua Foster, he did really good in the hurdles this year, so I kind of expected him to win it. But it was just really a shock. I'm really excited.
Over the last 2 years,
the coveted Warrior of the Year award went to another West High School graduate, Elko swimming sensation Cindy No, who is a 2-time conference champion in the 500 and 100 freestyle and a state silver medalist in the 50 free.
My teammates, I'd say thank you for an amazing season. We did awesome, getting second in conference and having 6 swimmers and 2 divers to state.
And lastly, the Team of the Year award went to the Elko softball team. What a season these ladies had. The Warriors earned their first trip to the state championship tournament, and according to Jazmyn Sancen, having a team filled with characters made it all the more memorable.
My team is a bunch of goofballs. We like to mess around. It's not a good day at practice if somebody's not laughing, if we're not smiling. If I had to say something to my team, it would be that I love them and I'm going to miss them so much.
And we're not done with the accolades. Recent Bishop Montgomery graduate Daniel Matheney was selected by the American Volleyball Coaches Association as a first-team All-American in high school boys volleyball. Matheney will attend UCLA this fall. And Matheney would like this next story because it involves, you got it, volleyball. And if you like the sport, then you need to get over to the D. Hardison Sports Center. Adult Open Gym Volleyball is underway, and here's the deal. Adults 18 and over compete on Mondays and Tuesdays from 7 to 10 p.m. There are 3 courts total, and some nights there are 40 to 50 players that show up. How cool is that? Now, the cool thing is you meet different skill sets here all of the time. All experience levels are welcome, and as a result, all of the teams are evenly balanced between the more experienced players and the novices.
Majority of the players have some type of volleyball experience. Occasionally we do get the novice type as well. So we accept players of all skill levels. So we kind of mix and match the teams just to make it competitive throughout the night. But we get a wide range of players. When it gets really busy, usually I'll go in here, kind of divide everybody up into teams, try to balance out the teams so it's competitive. Everybody has an enjoyable time throughout the night. But we get a lot of groups of friends, so we try to cater to them as well, let them play with their friends against their friends, just to have a good time.
Most of the people in this league are simply here to have fun and break a sweat. Calvin Wong has been frequenting the center for 13 years now. It's a great break from the daily grind, and at age 55, he still plays in several leagues, but he really digs the vibe at D. Hardison. It makes the experience all the more fun.
The folks here are really nice. You know, even though I'm not the hardest hitter, right? I try, and other people respect that. We're all here just to have fun, which is really nice. Here, win or lose, it doesn't matter. You can lose all night and you'd still have fun, right? Because you remember the ball that you actually hit or you dug out, right? That's the important things. And then at the end, we're all friends.
Mark Maniego, seen here cheering on his friends while he nurses an injury, has been coming to the D. Hardison Center for about 12 years. Volleyball has been a part of his life since age 15, and he loves it when these games start to get intense because we all need a good challenge, right?
That's always part of the game. It's always what you want to strive for because that's what makes it fun. You know, when it gets quiet and it gets a little boring, that's when you're like, okay, let's get some energy here. People feed off the energy. People feed off the competition. It's what makes it more exciting. Yeah, it did elevate some of my game, you know, because I meet different people, different height, different level. You know, you kind of see where you stand at one point, you know. It's open gym recreational. It's not NCAA finals, but it's still playtime, you know, and you meet different skill sets, you know, every single day. So that's the fun part about it.
If you'd like to learn more about the adult open gym volleyball, you can stop by the B. Hardison Center on Jefferson Street or give them a call at 310-972-7760. You can always visit them online as well. Just go to torranceca.gov and click on the adult sports link. All right, we're going to take a quick time out, but whatever you do, don't go anywhere because you won't want to miss this. Coming up next, how about some martial arts? We're going to visit the world-famous GRACIE University, and we're also going to check in with the South Bay Judo Club. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Let's hear it for hands. They can turn lights off at home and at work during a heat wave, or even set the AC to 78 or higher, which, if state officials call a flex alert, will come in very handy indeed.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk, everyone. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Share your story ideas, post your photos and videos. We want to hear from you, Torrance. After all, this is your show, so be sure to stay connected. All right, when I say the words GRACIE University, what comes to mind? If you said the best jiu-jitsu school of any kind in the entire world, looks like you did your homework. And the best part is, this global organization known as GRACIE-U is headquartered right here in the City of Torrance. So if you haven't taken a class yet, I'm curious, what are you waiting for? GRACIE University is a unique experience. The first thing you notice is just how welcoming and accommodating everyone is. And one of the gentlemen responsible for that inclusionary vibe is Henner Gracie. If you know anything about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you certainly recognize him. He's one of the head instructors here at GRACIE University, and he'll be the first to tell you that GRACIE Jiu-Jitsu exists solely for the purpose of empowering those who feel weak against those who appear stronger. Learning about chokes and arm bars is cool, but here at GRACIE-U, you're actually learning about life, real life, and not the stuff you see in movies and on television. As a result, no form of self-defense should ever be taught as a one-size-fits-all solution, especially if you're a beginner. It has to be geared directly to you, and that's what separates GRACIE University from the rest. They specialize in demographic-specific programs, such as GRACIE Combatives, Women Empowered, or GRACIE Bully Proof for the kids. So much of what they offer here is structured around people who are giving this a try for the very first time.
Our only objective is to make the moves functional, of course, get them proficient at the technique, but more important than that is that the student leaves feeling like they absolutely had the best time, they were praised, recognized, and appreciated, and they feel excited to come back. After they sign up, I say, hey, why did it take you so long to get in here? And they go, well, you know, I was really concerned about injury or getting embarrassed. And I said, which one was more concerning? They go, well, getting embarrassed. And I go, wow, that's fascinating. So the feeling of not being good enough is number one fear for anyone trying anything new. And all I can say is this, there are jiu-jitsu schools all over the world. What we are actually the best at is making jiu-jitsu so gradual, so progressive, and so comprehensive, and so curriculum-driven and structured for the beginner that no one feels embarrassed, no one gets hurt. You come here, you're safe, you're protected, and you're encouraged from the very first day.
This here is Alex Ueda. He's been an instructor with the university for 8 years now. Alex is teaching these kids how to prevent themselves from bullying, which, as you can imagine, is one of the most popular programs at the university. These kids are learning a lot, and they're certainly enjoying it. And that's because instructors like Alex are teaching much more than just technique.
Listen, I have these problems, you have your own problems, and I'm not here to make you feel worse so that I can feel better, right? I'm just here to make myself better and hopefully make your life a little bit better too. So that's what I want most kids to walk away with. If anything, a grounded sense of self-love.
One of the kids benefiting from Alex's sound advice is this guy here, William Blyer. He's 11 years old, and he loves this place for jiu-jitsu and also for dodgeball, which is what the kids play at the end of their class.
It feels good because I get new friends and I get to spend time with them. The fun things that I get out of this are I get to learn that if someone's bullying me, I know what to do.
And they can always talk to the instructors here if they're having a problem with bullying. So it's kind of an extra, you know, you feel a little more confident. It's something that helps to protect them a little better.
And this is William's mom, Karen. She participates in the Women Empowered program, which is also very popular. This is where women learn how to properly protect themselves against an attacker or any other volatile situation.
There is so much that you learn here, and it's not just about the techniques. They teach you how to control your mind, control your body. What do you do? How do you avoid the situation from the get-go? It's not just about, you know, choking someone out. It's about everything that goes on in between too. So it really, I really think that it's encouraging, and I think that all women should really come to something like this.
Jiu-jitsu is the martial art you do when you can't do anything else. If you can't play basketball, kickbox, surf, whatever else you want to do, but you can't because you physically have challenges there, jiu-jitsu is what you fall back on under one condition, that it's taught safely, encouragingly, and correctly with a curriculum structure, and that's what we do here at GRACIE University.
To learn more about GRACIE University, you can stop by their Carson Street location or give them a call at 310-893-0400. You can send an email to info@gracieuniversity.com or just log on to the website gracieuniversity.com for more information. And don't forget to take advantage of their special offer. Check it out. 10 days free for every new student. Good stuff. One of the instructors at GRACIE Academy is none other than UFC fighter Brian T. City Ortega. He's a little busy right now because he's training for his world title fight with reigning featherweight champ Max Holloway. The two will battle in the co-main event of UFC 226, which takes place on July 7th live from Las Vegas, exclusively on UFC pay-per-view. Ortega is currently undefeated, boasting an unblemished MMA record of 14-0. The man they call T-City is one of the UFC's rising stars, and he got his start at GRACIE Academy, now known as GRACIE University. Henry Gracie remembers his first encounter with a young 13-year-old Ortega.
This kid comes in here, GRACIE University, 13 years old is when he lands here. He got beat up in a street fight. His dad wanted to teach him self-defense on the ground because he got caught in a headlock. He was a good kickboxer but had no ground. This kid was so dedicated, never missed a class, always showed up, always doing the techniques, immaculate technique, great absorption. And the second I saw him, I said, this kid's special. He doesn't talk, but he's special. Something's going on here.
You're absolutely right, Henry. Best of luck to Brian Ortega on July the 7th. Bring that belt back home to Torrance where it belongs, brother. Gotta rep the U, right? GRACIE U, of course. All right, our martial arts coverage continues. Back in 1999, Torrance residents Ed and Joan Shiozaki started what is now known as the South Bay Judo Club. The club runs year-round at the D. Hardison Center at Wilson Park. Now, recently, they wrapped up their spring training session, which means it's time for some competitions. Danny Miskell has more.
It may be a full contact sport, but believe it or not, judo means the gentle way. And it teaches you how to use the strength of your opponent against them.
They're learning how to face you combatively or non-combatively, whatever they feel is necessary. And we teach them not to pick a fight, but protect yourself. And judo is not a kind of sport that would go out and try to instigate a fight. It's mostly to protect yourself. And that's what we like about judo.
The students just completed 10 weeks of spring training. So this is the tournament that comes at the end of each training session. We're seeing a lot of throwing, pinning, and fairness being demonstrated in these matches.
Well, it's not really about winning, but learning sportsmanship and new techniques. And
in judo, it only takes 1 point to win a round. You can either win with a knockout, or as they say, ippon, or if you're able to pin your opponent on their back for more than 10 seconds, then that gives you half a point, a waza ari. Romeo is facing off with Kiyosuke Masumo, and they explain how they each try to earn an ippon.
First, I try to grip the Romeo's gi, and I try to do like a foot sweep and to break a balance, and I try to throw.
Well, I like to set it up with a like counter or a sweep, a small throw, and then move up to a big throw.
Romeo, by the way, is about to head up to the Junior Olympics in Spokane, Washington. So his fellow club members aren't going to let him off that easy.
It was pretty tiring. Well, I was a little overwhelmed first. This built my conditioning and my technique. So there might be small people, but that built my technique. So I don't use power on that. But when I fight big people, it helped my conditioning. And
the kids who just won their tournament rounds are receiving trophies because it's a sign of encouragement for them to stay in competition. In judo, it's the only way that you're going to get better. Another sign of encouragement is to give them promotions, and the kids are receiving their new belt colors right now to show that they've just graduated to the next level up. This honor that judo rewards the students with is the type of validation that keeps them inspired and coming back to train.
I love judo because when I was small, I was in Japan, and I couldn't win very much, so I practiced hard, and I'm winning matches. I'm getting good at judo, so I keep practicing.
The South Bay Judo Club is so proud of the fact that they see their students grow in life with the sport of judo. And they've been able to build a club where the friendships go beyond the classes.
I think that it shows the kids that they can be part of something that's really good.
Yeah.
And I think the family core is so important these days with the way life is, that the kids need to know that they belong to something. And we love these guys.
Reporting from the South Bay Judo Club, I'm Danny Miskell with the Sports Desk.
Danny, thanks. For more information on upcoming classes, etc., please log on to southbayjudo.com or give Joan Shiozaki a call at 310-212-6158. All right, we're going to take another quick time out here on the Sports Desk. Whatever you do, don't go anywhere. Still to come, as promised, you're going to learn how to play the sport of ping pong. You won't want to miss this. It's pretty cool. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Alexa, how do you tell if asparagus is still good?
If it's not moldy or slimy, it's okay to eat.
Enable the new skill from Save the Food on your Amazon Alexa and help fight food waste.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk, everyone. I challenge you to a game of whiff-waff. At least that's what the British used to call it when it was first invented. You and I like to call it ping pong or perhaps table tennis. The question is, do you actually know how to play the game? Danny Miskell spent time at the Torrance South Bay YMCA, and she's going to teach us about whiff-waff.
Head instructor Nivedita Ralhan is a 12-time national table tennis player in India and the one responsible for starting the table tennis program at the Y. That was 14 years ago, and the program has grown to be so popular that she now teaches classes 7 days out of the week.
So today I'm going to work with their defensive techniques and top spin after that. So first I'm going to teach how to do that defense, and then they are going to attack on the chop ball or defensive ball. And later on I'm just going to play doubles with them a little bit. So
table tennis might look like a seamless sport, but it actually requires you to really pay attention. If you're not quick enough, that ball is going to fly right by you before you even know it, which means you've just given up a point to your opponent.
Reflexes get really very well improved, hand and eye coordination, your concentration power, you get more focused. So you can take decisions in seconds instead of hours, you know. So these all things, if you play table tennis, it automatically comes to you.
Getting the technique down is key, and that first starts with the way you hold your paddle. There's the traditional forehand grip, backhand grip, and then some fancier grips.
What's common is there's a handshake style where you hold it from behind and you do normal front and back hands like this. But there is a different style called this pen grip style where you're only hitting it with one side of the paddle. So your fore grip is to one side and then your back grip is to the other side, but you're always holding the paddle forward in that regard.
JP is a seasoned ping pong player, and he brings his daughter Marie with him to these classes weekly. Between him and Nivedita's coaching, Marie has been improving her chops, her top spins, and the movements that correlate with it. She says that the motions are kind of like when you're drawing a painting on a wall.
You try and do like a top spin. Like you start on like the weight of one foot, and then when you hit it, you go to the weight of the other foot. So like you're like transferring your weight from your feet. So like you start off with this weight, and then when you come over here, you transfer.
Marie even says that because this game requires 100% concentration, it's helped improve other aspects of her life with staying focused, like with her homework.
Kind of like keep your eye on the ball. Since it's so tiny, you have to kind of like keep your eye on the ball. Like I just focus on the ball and like infer on where it's gonna hit the table or if it's like totally gonna be out. So, but it's kind of tricky if like the ball's like in that zone where it could hit the floor or it could like hit the table. And if it like hits the corner of the table and bounces off, that's called a lucky shot.
Now we've all played ping pong, right? With our friends at like a party or at a barbecue. And there's one common error that we've all made and that you probably didn't know about. And that's if you serve the ball like this. At the tournament level, that would get you disqualified. The proper way to serve a ping pong ball, you have to hold the ball in the palm of your hand and you have to toss it, making sure it hits this side of the table first before it crosses the net. So allow me to demonstrate. Squatting and tightening your core makes the world of a difference with how you execute your serve. Blaise Bartosik is one of the more advanced participants in the program. He demonstrates how when serving, the technique behind that swing can be the most challenging to master.
So pretty much, you hold your paddle like this, you turn your body like this, and you take this sort of kind of like a stroke for forehand. You don't go all the way back, which I have a tendency to do. You actually make a stop right here, where your forehand is. Your backhand, it goes like this. You don't really go out. Sometimes you go out, but a lot of times you lift. For instance, if you want to lift a heavy underspin, you go like this.
Got it.
And if just a regular topspin, that's when you go out.
Quick fun fact. Blake has taken classes with Wei Wong, who famously trained Tom Hanks for the ping pong scenes in Forrest Gump. Blake talks strategy about why the serve is one of the most crucial aspects in a table tennis game.
A lot of the times when somebody gives you a real tricky serve, just like that, where they just look like they're doing a serve like this, but it's completely hidden. What they're trying to do is they might be trying to get the point off the serve. And if you get used to it and you manage to return it, that's when they start to have problems, and that's when they start to make errors. If you get the point off your serve, great. If you don't, you gotta know actually how to get into the rallies. You gotta actually know how to set up your forehand, backhand smashes, forehand, backhand loops.
In table tennis, the first person to get to 11 points wins. Once you've mastered the techniques and you can keep up with the fast pace, in Marie's words, she says it's the best feeling ever.
You train and train and train, and then when you finally master it, it's like so like worth it. It's like worth it. And then you can like crush your opponent. But just to let you know, if they're like too new, just go easy on them.
Reporting from the YMCA, I'm Danny Miskell with the Sports Desk.
Danny, thanks. If you want to play ping pong the right way, become a member at the YMCA by stopping by the Sepulveda Boulevard location or calling them at 310-325-5885 or visit them online at ymcala.org, Torrance, South Bay. All right, that does it for this edition of the Sports Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate your support. My name is AJ Vittone, and I've seen, heard, and said enough for 1 week. We'll continue this conversation again real soon, I promise. Until then, don't forget to follow the Sports Desk on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And remember, you can email us as well. We'd love to hear it. That's all the time we have, sports fans. We'll catch you next time right here on the Sports Desk.